ever sign a contract and think, man, there's got to be like a better way to do this.
Right.
Well, that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah.
AI and smart contracts.
Two technologies that could totally change how agreements actually work.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, and we've got some really awesome material from Dennis Frank over at KryptoKraken.
Oh, yeah.
To help us unpack all of this.
He's a cryptocurrency expert. He really knows his stuff.
He does, and his writing is perfect for our deep dive today because he explains things so clearly.
Yes.
Even if you're not, super deep in the tech world.
Exactly.
So let's start with the basics. What exactly are smart contracts?
Okay, so at their core, smart contracts are basically digital agreements.
Okay.
That are stored and automated on a blockchain.
Okay.
So the terms of the agreement, they're written in code, and once certain conditions are met, the contract automatically executes itself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So think of it as like a way to make agreements tamper-proof.
Okay.
And transparent with all the steps clearly laid out and recorded.
So no more relying on stacks of paperwork.
Exactly.
Or just hoping that everyone's going to hold up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, it's all trackable.
Wow.
It's all automated.
Okay.
And because it's all on the blockchain, it's incredibly secure. It's virtually impossible to tamper with the data.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, which adds a whole other level of trust and reliability to these agreements.
Okay, that's starting to make sense, but how does AI fit into all of this? Because it seems like smart contracts on their own are already a huge leap forward.
You're totally right. Smart contracts are a big deal. But AI is what takes them from automated to intelligent.
Okay.
When you add AI to the mix, smart contracts become capable of learning, adapting, and even making decisions based on the data they process.
Okay, so that's where it gets really interesting because it's not just about following pre-programmed rules anymore.
Right.
It's about creating agreements that can actually respond to real-world situations. So instead of it just being a digital vending machine,
okay, yeah.
Is it more like a vending machine that learns your favorite snacks and has them ready for you?
That's a really good analogy. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so AI allows those preset rules to become dynamic, responding to changes in data, or even predicting what might happen next.
So let's say I'm insuring my car, and the smart contract has access to data about my driving habits.
Right.
The rates could adjust in real time based on how safely or not so safely I'm driving.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Or imagine a supply chain where the delivery route automatically adjusts based on traffic, weather, or even a sudden surge in demand for a product. That's the power of AI and smart contracts working together.
Okay, that's seriously cool. But with all this talk about data and automation, what about security? It seems like there could be some vulnerabilities if hackers get involved.
That's a really, really crucial point, and it's something that Dennis Frank emphasizes heavily in the articles that we're looking at today.
Sure.
He sees AI as a game changer when it comes to smart contract security.
So how does that work exactly? Does AI act like some kind of a digital bodyguard for these contracts?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. AI has the ability to analyze huge amounts of data in real time, which means it can detect anomalies or suspicious activity much faster than any human can.
So it's like AI can spot a hacker trying to mess with a contract before they even make a move?
Essentially. Yes.
Wow.
AI can recognize patterns and identify those potential threats before they become major problems. It's about being proactive rather than reactive when it comes to security.
And Frank mentions encryption and authentication as well. How does AI play a role there?
Think of it this way. AI can help create these incredibly complex encryption keys that are practically impossible for hackers to crack. It's like having a lock on your front door that changes its combination every few seconds.
Wow, that's impressive. But all this potential for good, is there a flip side? Could AI be used maliciously when it comes to smart contracts?
It's certainly a possibility that we need to consider.
Right.
Any technology can be used for good or bad,
right,
and AI is no exception. That's why it's essential to have these really clear ethical guidelines and regulations in place as AI becomes more integrated into these systems.
That makes sense. So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we choose to use it.
Exactly.
And the safeguards that we put in place.
Precisely. But overall, the potential benefits of AI and smart contracts are enormous.
Yeah.
Dennis Frank lays out some pretty compelling real-world applications in his articles that are already happening today.
Let's get into those. What industries are already seeing the impact of this technology?
Finance is a big one. AI-powered smart contracts are already being used to streamline compliance processes, automate these complex transactions, and even combat fraud.
That's huge. How does AI actually help with something like fraud detection?
So AI excels at recognizing patterns and anomalies in these large data sets,
Okay.
which makes it incredibly effective at identifying potentially fraudulent transactions.
Okay.
It can analyze thousands of transactions every second, looking for subtle red flags that humans might miss.
So it's like having an army of financial detectives working around the clock.
Exactly. AI can spot things like unusual spending patterns, suspicious login locations, or attempts to exploit loopholes in financial systems.
That's incredible. And what about other industries? What else did Dennis Frank highlight in his articles?
Supply chains are another area where AI and smart contracts are making a real difference.
Okay.
We're talking about increased transparency, optimized logistics, and real-time tracking of goods as they move through the supply chain.
So when I order something online and can track its journey from the warehouse to my doorstep, that's AI and smart contracts at work.
Exactly. And think about the implications for businesses.
Right.
Imagine being able to track inventory levels with perfect accuracy, predict potential disruptions, and automatically adjust delivery routes based on real-time conditions.
That would be a game changer for so many companies. What other examples did Dennis Frank give?
He also talked about the potential of AI and smart contracts in healthcare, particularly when it comes to managing sensitive patient data.
That's an interesting one. Healthcare is all about data, privacy, and security. How does this technology fit in?
Imagine a system where medical records are stored securely on a blockchain, accessible only to authorized individuals. AI could then be used to analyze that data, identify potential health risks, and even assist doctors in making more informed diagnoses.
So it's not just about keeping the data safe, it's about using it more effectively to improve patient care.
Exactly. AI can process and analyze vast amounts of medical data, looking for patterns and insights that might not be immediately apparent to human doctors. This could lead to earlier diagnoses, more personalized treatment plans, and ultimately, better health outcomes.
It's amazing to think about the possibilities, especially in healthcare, like you were talking about,
Yeah.
when it comes to things like personalized medicine and like early detection of disease and stuff.
Absolutely.
But with all this potential, there have to be some challenges too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Like any powerful technology, AI and smart contracts come with their own set of hurdles.
Okay.
One of the biggest is ensuring the accuracy and the reliability of the AI itself.
Right.
We're essentially like trusting these systems to make really important decisions.
Right.
So we need to be sure that they're making the right ones.
Yeah, so no robot doctors making questionable calls just yet.
Not quite. Not quite. We're still in those early stages of development.
Okay.
And rigorous testing and oversight are absolutely crucial. It's about making sure these AI systems are trained on unbiased data and, they're designed with these appropriate safeguards in place.
Right. That makes sense. What other challenges do we need to keep in mind?
Another big one is infrastructure.
Okay.
All of this data processing and analysis requires these incredibly robust and secure systems. We need to be able to handle these massive amounts of information, and we need to be able to do it quickly, efficiently.
Right.
And we also need to make sure that information is protected from all those nasty cyber threats out there.
So it's not just about the algorithms and the code. It's about having the digital infrastructure to support all of it.
Precisely. And then, of course, you've got the legal and ethical considerations.
Right.
As with any disruptive technology, AI and smart contracts, they raise new questions about responsibility, liability, and the potential impact on society.
It's a lot to consider, but it seems like Dennis Frank is cautiously optimistic about the future.
Yeah.
In one of his articles, he talks about the importance of ethical frameworks and, careful planning as we integrate these technologies into our world.
He's right to emphasize that. It's not just about what these technologies can do, it's about what we should do with them.
Right.
We need to have these open and honest conversations about the potential risks and benefits.
Right.
And we need to work together to create a future where AI and smart contracts are used responsibly and ethically.
That's a great point. It's kind of a shared responsibility to make sure that these advancements are used for good.
Absolutely.
What stood out to you most in Frank's writing? Any big takeaways?
What really struck me was his emphasis on the truly transformative potential of these technologies.
Yeah.
Not just in specific industries, but in our lives as a whole.
Right.
He really envisions a future where AI and smart contracts could streamline those everyday tasks, increase efficiency, even create these new opportunities for innovation.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities, but it's also a little bit of a, like you said, a call to action, that we're not just passive bystanders in this technological revolution, right?
Absolutely.
Like we have a role to play in shaping how these technologies are developed and used.
100%. Being informed and engaged is more important than ever.
Well said. This deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
A lot, yeah.
It's amazing how AI and smart contracts are no longer these like futuristic concepts, but they're technologies that are already shaping our world in some really, really profound ways.
It's a really exciting time to be paying attention to this space.
It is. Until next time, keep exploring.